Hello everyone, it's been a little while since the last Magireco video, but it's now the 5th anniversary. How exciting. Too bad I'm not going to talk about any of that crap in this video. What I want to talk about is the new challenge, the new 100 evils that came with it, which was pretty interesting. It's now the hardest content in the game to clear. Just for some context for people that maybe haven't played the game in a while, or maybe you haven't even played since NA closed down. Ever since the 3rd anniversary, they've had this new thing called we just call it the 100 Evils. It's these purple challenges. And yeah, they were harder, but realistically all they were for most of the time is they had a lot more health, but weren't really more dangerous. It did take more turns to clear, but yeah, so what? But as of maybe 6 months ago, they decided to actually make the 3rd challenge to be a little bit more difficult. Wow, crazy thought. But this anniversary, we have a new one. We have a special edition, and it's the hardest content in the game so far. And the community, along with myself, has actually found a way to min-turn it, which I found to be really interesting. And in case you're not aware, min-turning is to complete the challenge in the minimal amount of turns possible. In this case, it's 7. But in a lot of these, the minimum turns that it can be completed are usually the number of waves. This has 5 waves. But the minimum it can be done is in 7. I'll explain a little more in a bit. But I usually don't bother min-turning a lot of these. I get pretty close because the team I usually use can't clear the boss on the first wave. And I tend to use the same team every time. I just change memos around, and I actually kind of find it interesting because it's a way for me to see my team develop and get better over time. And I'm really proud of it, but this time I actually did bother to get it down to min-turn. I didn't think my team was possible or capable of doing it, and that's what I'm going to show you here. So before I begin the video footage of it, let me just show you what we're dealing with here. I copied some guy's notes of what each wave does. You don't need to worry about it too much for my min-turn, but you can just see how difficult this is just for people to clear it. I was seeing a lot of people on Twitter just struggling to clear it, and those that even had really strong will teams, it would take them 14 turns, which is about what I did my first try. But anyway, here's a couple images on wave 1. Madukami, all these bosses have at least 2 million health, and I'll go through a couple of these images. Don't worry about it too much, but if you let them stay up for a few turns, they become a huge problem. And for when I was trying to figure out how to lower the turn count, I had to figure out how I could kill the bosses on every wave. And to do that, I basically had to figure out the optimal disc order, the optimal doppel order, and what memos to change. I found it really interesting, so let's go through the video here. Okay, wave 1, it's not possible to kill this boss in the first turn. They have over 2 million health. So what we need to do is we need to Excel combo. Now, I need a very specific Excel combo. I need 2 Kuroe disc and 1 Izzy disc. And actually, the order does matter here because each Excel disc after the first gets more MP, which gives me a better chance. But basically, we have to Kuroe doppel on turn 2. Okay, luckily we got a little bit of good RNG here because Kuroe gets a lot of MP from being hit by a light element, and she did get hit here. She doesn't have to. We can use her personal memo to bring her to a doppel. But anyway, all we're going to do now is we're just going to try and get in any disc, any Excel disc, and then we're going to use her doppel to clear. The reason we use a Kuroe doppel is pretty obvious. We need the MP, we need the dark attribute buffs, etc. Okay, on wave 2, it looks like I should be using the swimsuit Kuroe doppel, but I need to save it, even though she's completely full. We can use Izzy's SE skill to get up to 150 MP, and we're actually going to use her to clear this wave. Izzy has an AoE Magia, which means she's not going to do as much damage to a single target boss, but we can get through that by just doing giga damage. We have very powerful memo here, and Izzy will be able to blow through this. Okay, on wave 3, this is the one I struggled with a little bit because I had to figure out like the optimal disc and doppel order, and this is why I have to save the swimsuit Croy doppel. I need her doppel to kill little QB here. Little QB has 3 million health, and the only way I can do that is with swimsuit Croy. Now, it's also a dark element, which means we don't do extra damage to it. So the reason I picked this disc order is I need Magireco to give MP. If I have her do it after swimsuit Croy, I'm not going to be able to get the MP and my run's over. So I do that, the Excel disc, and then in order for me to kill QB with swimsuit Croy, I have to use 2 damage actives. She does have damage passives as well, so we basically have to stack as much damage as possible for me to be able to even clear this with just 1 doppel. Okay, wave 4 is nice and simple. This is why we wanted to get Croy to get up to doppel level again. And we will doppel with her, but we're also just going to try and get any Excel disc in beforehand. Because if we put them after the doppel, then obviously they're not going to hit. They're not going to get the MP. But we need to have enough MP going into the next thing. Okay, wave 5. This is the scary wave. This is where a lot of people just fail or take 20 plus turns. That's because it's all the bosses together with Infinite Iroha. They all basically have 3 million health. But this is also why the minimum turns is 7. On the first turn you face this wave, they all have 30 million barrier on each one. It's impossible to do that much damage. So Infinite Iroha is pretty much always going to Magia. Maybe with like doing like MP down or something, you can prevent her Magia. I'm not sure. What I do instead with Shizuka, I bring a like Mito Rain and like a Magia damage down. I don't usually have to worry about it too much, but it's possible Croy can die. I mean, she is light. She's going to do a lot of damage to my units. So that's what I do. My Excel draw also comes up at this time too, and we can use that to Excel combo. Okay, the final turn, turn 7. There's 2 ways that we can clear this. We need to have Shizuka or Mitama would work as well. Infinite Iroha gives the entire team survive. So most people usually have to just power through the survive, meaning it will take at least another turn, even if you have a ton of damage this turn. So what with Shizuka, her doppel will remove all of their granted buffs. That way she can remove the survive. So we're going to do the Shizuka doppel, the Izzy doppel. The Izzy doppel will kill all the light units. And then we're just left with the little shit, which we're then going to kill with swimsuit Croy. And it's just like that, nice and easy. It makes it look so easy now, but this really took a lot of changing units, a lot of changing memos, and changing strats like doppel order, Excel order. But I found it really fascinating because not very many people can min turn this, and found it pretty cool. It was a little challenge I was having with someone, and the fact that both of us were able to eventually min turn it was pretty cool. Anyway, I will probably have more Magireco videos soon. There's lots of exciting stuff in the game. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.